Hey again, so it's time for checking out some malware again. Usually, as you can expect, it's going to be mostly again something about macros, but I think I'll also try some other category, which is like, at least from Kaspersky's allies, should be like virtual, which as far as I'm aware, it should be like some kind of like utility that's for some malicious behavior, while the file itself is not kind of malicious, but we'll still see about that. So I'll try a few samples and see what we'll have. Oh, sorry Jacob about the screensaver. I wasn't sure what should I even pick, so I picked this with, but I get it. It's probably spinning around too much. I should try to maybe tweak it for a bit to make it less random, maybe. Maybe that could kind of fit at next point, but yeah, we are kind of done with screensaver. Let's add some samples and see what we can actually do. I didn't actually even add a lot of things. Let me just check again. Actually, let's add at least 3 things for now. They're all like virtual, which I said it shouldn't be like a malware, but still maybe some kind of like a utility. So let me name them. Okay, it's still like macro in this case, just for start. So CSUV, demo, and JMPS. I didn't check out those still, but let me see what they actually have. This one still feels blank. So this is like some sort of scramble engine. Let me check first. What's this document either way? Automotive item soft and yeah, nothing more. So let me check the behavior of this. So it's only a single method. Get the module. Okay, I actually have no idea what's this supposed to do. Let me see if it can actually try to run it maybe for a moment. So if I enable it, what happens? Can I actually even run it? Yeah, nothing about this in this case. We'll see about demo in this case. Is there anything in here? This one seems to be blank. So it kind of feels that this wasn't even a good option. If I enable it, oh, this is most likely quite old. Oh, so this is like a demo virus installation. So it will make 4 items. A directory in C drive. Hold on, let me check. So in C drive. Oh, it's already aborted. Let me reopen this. So creates a macro in global template, 2 macros, and the document whenever I ask you must save them. And it seems to fail. So what's in this case? So and even if we saw the document without any macros when disabled, for some reason it's visible by now. I actually have no idea how is that, what's causing that, but maybe the only possible reason is most likely that if this was made for the older versions of Word, it's most likely that it won't actually run well on newer versions. Jacob, what do you mean about media share stream? As I'm not sure what's about that in this case. If you can actually explain it for a bit. For now, I'll check out this in a moment. I sort of assume that it might be about maybe playing some music, but considering the copyright stuff and my choice of music isn't quite great, I don't know if that's going to happen. Can you even try to run this? Wait, why does it even fail? Wait, Warner system does not support external functions. Wait, it's probably, I'm not sure if that's some, I actually have an idea what's going on in here already. So the main error code, install. So that's the initial one. And the macro, I think. Wait. Alright, overall this might be broken overall. So I'll say that's not going to actually work. So let me just check this one still, and I'm kind of still assuming that even that's going to break. Oh, this also has something. It's similar to the first one, I think, but I have no idea what it is exactly. No. So send over YouTube videos with super chat for free, and it plays automatically. I don't want to actually do this for the sake of copyright issues. As and even we told that various content that actually people can actually share, most of them can cause like terms of service violation, and that's going to even cause even more trouble for me. Plus, I don't have like a lot of audience to get some attention with that either way. Even though it might be kind of interesting to react at some of those things, it, you know, in my case, it's kind of still not that useful. So overall, I assume that this is just only for scrambling the code, but nothing much else. So these three are not that special. Let me see if I can find something better. Let me see about these three. So these are actual exes, executables. So they say won't be able to actually figure out what they actually do. Hopefully nothing terrifying. I have no idea if these are even exes at this point. Hold on a sec. Let me check about this. Okay, that's not working. Actually, I have no idea what is this doing anything. And this one seems to be for infection. So with create block option, you can extract all code or data between two identical strings from the specific file, And this option will create block files where there is that code or data between that strings. You can use create ASM option to creating an ASM file that with that blocks you selected. This application will be useful for chaining that blocks. And I'm still not sure what's this exactly for. I think that this probably requires something else. Actually, I have no idea how this will work. Okay, I'm completely blind with this. So I have no idea what's this even doing. I can assume that maybe it could actually kinda append some files inside other file, but at this point none of these seem to be working well. So yeah, I should skip all of that. I was expecting something more useful though. Let me check. Okay, let me see about this. WMF maker. So this should be like an exploit, but hold on a sec. File with payload. It didn't actually give a lot of details. Let me try something. I'll just need some. Hold on a second. There's something in here, but let me just see what it is. Yeah, nothing special for now. So yeah, considering that I don't have any experience with assembly, I'll probably be blind with this. Let me just use a simple file. Okay, so we have. Yeah. Okay, let me try to use. So WMF. So it doesn't work with that. So what was usually being used to actually open this properly? I think there was like something called WMF, which is I think like Windows metadata format, which is like vectorized image. But there was like some, how to say, exploit where you could actually run malware in this case. Even though I'm not actually even able to do that. So let me just reopen this. Yeah, it should be an executable, I guess, but how do you actually run that then? Or or in this case it might be kind of outdated. Like for this exploit to work, it probably needs something that's probably already patched in this case. I don't know. So we already have like lots of failures in this case. Can you even open it to something else? Yeah, I have no idea. So even though this works, it still fails. So even that's not going to work. Okay, what else? What else? Yeah, I think I should go back to the macros in this case because here I'm very familiar with this, or at least find maybe something a bit more different. I was hoping that this would be kind of more interesting, but At this point we already had few stuff that didn't even work. Okay, hold on a sec. Is this the old one or... Yeah, just give me a moment to actually drop in something else and see if we're going to get anything else at this point. So even if I try to go with info view to actually open the file, it makes no difference to this. So I don't know what kind of exploit was it. Let me just check online for a bit. What was the case with this? So meta file vulnerability, but it seems to affect only Windows XP in this case. So this actually doesn't work on 98 at all. So we'll probably have to switch to XP maybe for this. I don't know if I actually have that connected on the network. Let me just maybe try to switch for a moment. Just a moment. I'll try just switching to XP and see if we can actually do something over there. And hoping that it's still kind of clean. Last time when I used it, it probably had a lot of mess. So this might take a while. Wait a second. This was since 2007, less patched. Yeah, there's like one more problem. I have no idea if this was already patched in this release, so I have to actually find one more utility. Which one was it? Yeah, it's actually called mice, but yeah, now I have to only find the tool. Okay, this is just the utility to see for the exploit, but it seems that this was already patched in here, so I don't think that I can actually even try the malware in here either. So I need to go back to 98. I actually need to install. I saw at this point, I actually need to install like very old versions of XP and 98 to the point where there are no security patches at all to actually demonstrate some exploits. Because at this point, I'm even unable to try that out. So that's another failure already. Right, at this point I'll go with some to check. I'm going to just check like some. I think there are like registry keys to see if they're supposed to be somehow malicious. They are like named as Trojans, but I think they're kind of the basic stuff in here. So let me just check those. Oh, let me check if there's still something wrong. All right. At this point, I would say that these are not something critical. You can even check the names. So just rename it to rag and then see what it does. It seems to be like for the service. These are just like the registry entries for most likely some malware that's basically added in some, like, how to say, on some imitation of a legitimate path, which in this case should be like Windows Explorer.exe, but the actual malware is in system and then Explorer.exe. Even though that's going to fail, we can actually still try to run all of this to see how much we can actually break stuff. Because at this point, if we are already failing with this, let's fail this completely. This should be for administration shared, which is usually by default on Windows XP, I think. Yeah. Like administrative share that you can actually access the tries. But I don't remember the complete logic for that. It's probably required by some services, but at this point I'm not sure. So feel free to correct me for anything I say wrong, because everything in here is going just out of my head. It's not even easy for me to explain some things at this point. I think, yeah, most likely that even there's like the Trojan horse sample for some of these. These are probably just some plain simple like leftovers. This might do some damage, but I'm not sure. And it seems that most of them are like for XP or for NT versions. Emote. Okay, this one might have some difference still. So hold on a second. What's this emote outer the hacker? Let me just translate this quickly. Behind the hackers, it changed the version of Plus with Internet Explorer 9, which is probably outdated. It seems to be done since Windows 2K, so that's kind of still close. And then just all goes with SST wherever it's possible. DL32 is quite costly, I think. Let's see. Oh, it actually sucks. So my German still sucks overall. So yeah, so this is most likely the one that I kind of hope that it's going to break the usage of Windows, at least. For start page, this just redirects everything to alcybersearch.com. So which is this is most likely the same, just on another website. Probably the same thing. Yeah, just goes to the specific page. Even though I have I had the machine running offline at this moment, as I didn't actually want to mess around a lot, just for the sake of safety at least. I'm planning to move to Linux soon, so I'll probably have to reinstall all machines and still kind of figure out how to actually run VMware on Linux properly to make sure that everything in here still works. That's kind of still the reason that I'm not actually kind of investing a lot of time in doing this overall. Okay, this one's kind of different. Like, you have an option to search the web, and then the script leads to the next.com. So this one might be kind of different, and seems to have like some different layout in here. Which are this one still? Yeah, just the share. This might be, no, that's just for changing the time format to fuck you, which I assume it's going to be in here. And this is the last one. Oh, this is large. Very large. I have a feeling that this is like actually either an executable or I don't know. It seems like it. This is going to take a while. So yeah, overall, as I'm considering to get another GPU, so I can actually kind of set up a Linux, so I can actually not switch to Windows 10 or 11 at this point. I'll try to get a new GPU to actually run Linux properly. My current GPU is NVIDIA, and going with NVIDIA and Linux is kind of not the best option in here. So I have to get like an Intel GPU, so that will run on Linux. And for NVIDIA GPU, I'll try to use like Looking Glass utility that's going to like use GPU pass-through, and then over that I'll try to run either Windows 10 or 11 at least in an isolated environment as much as possible. But I can still also use VMware for maybe some legacy operating systems like still like Windows 98 and XP at least. But if I actually need to do something more complex, I'll probably have to set up a PCM or 86 box. But then I probably have some networking issues, and there's not going to be any support for drag and drop. So I'll probably have to find a way how to improvise on that, if that's even possible. So yeah, so that's still going to take a while until I actually get the GPU and maybe some additional equipment with that. So that's going to take a while. But this is apparently an executable, not a register file, which means that this is something much more different. Not sure why it was called like the reg file, so we can go with txt. Oh, and it seems to be like quite new, so it's probably going to not even run. But yeah, overall, let's just register all of this. Oh, it's not even register script. Hold on a sec. Don't tell me that it's kind of outdated. At least these should work. Oh, the screen just broke. I mean, the trail of the dialogue was still left. Okay, that should be all for the registry, and let me just see what's this. So not bad. It's probably dropped somewhere. Just no idea where it is though. Oh. Whoa. I'm already scared with this. Oh. Okay, so apparently this thing has embedded like the flash file animation, and then it actually tries to run something that either doesn't exist or it's kind of broken because it's probably for XP and newer versions. Let's see, it's in System32 drivers, shells, and yeah, that's everything in here apparently. So it has like sub.reg, which is not a register script in this case. But let me see what's actually doing this. Winspector S. Okay, so it will actually add a startup entry to names Winspector, and it will lead to sub2.link sub2 shortcut file, which is this one. And let me check. So this goes to hide window for the batch file. So when you try to run this, it's going to try to hide the window, and then it's going to run the sub2 batch file. And in here we can see that this is supposed to disable the firewall. Let me check. So yeah, firewall disabled. And then just allow the Trojan horse in this case to be run properly. I'm not sure if this is actually Merc or not, but it seems to be. So if I'm not wrong, this might be just Merc client, but I'm not sure. Apparently it is, and I assume that it's set up to actually connect to specific server. So let me just check for a bit for the other files around here. So yeah, this is basically supposed to be like a hidden Merc worm, I assume, or Trojan, whichever it goes by this point. So there are like 2 users, at least, if I'm actually understanding this properly. So let me check in here. Oh, what's in here? Okay, that's just for the nicknames. Okay, never mind. Aliases. Okay, I'm not exactly sure about the whole context of this thing. I'm trying to figure it out on my own. But yeah, it seems it's supposed to connect to some servers and then probably do some interaction with them. And yeah, there's the script here. So probably get the name of nicknames, join the specific channels, at the specific time, log in with specific accounts. And yeah, I assume that it's basically just like sending the messages overall. Hold on a second, go back for a bit. This seems to be Italian. Let me just check. Okay, for chance, it seems that it might be even Romanian, which says like authentication successful. Fresh pass. At this point, it seems to be like the commands for remote control. So I assume that when you try to send a message to a specific user, then it will actually control the logged in account. Let me check on this. This might be like the password change, or yeah, that's the password change. Log off. I'm not sure about auto op. Wait, that's basically for controlling the operator in IRC server. Version. Changing to the random nickname. Ban, run, join. So basically just control the server overall with this. And flood is supposed to be like, I assume like notifying everyone. So yeah, this is basically remotely controlled Merc bot with all of these commands. So I'll probably have to try to run a or make a IRC server and see if we can actually simulate all of that stuff, but not at this moment. What's in here? Terminating. Okay, that's from the Merc. What's in this case? Oh, it's of all info, so that should be like all the info available from the system, I assume. So if we try to run, wait, you cannot actually run this. Wait a second, why you cannot actually run this? Does it have anything specific? Oh wait, it might be because of running some of these register files, but it still runs. But overall, it doesn't seem to give any useful information. ipconf is wait. ipconfig, nothing more. Source. Oh, oops. Right, okay, so overall this seems to be just like just an IRC client with the flash animation as I said. So let me just zoom this kind of completely so you can actually see it a bit better. So you have the Christmas tree, the toys, presents, and the fuse. Where in this case, an elf is trying to, or actually not elf, Santa, I assume, is trying to just to fuse it for the sake of fire safety. And then you get the one of those e-cards overall. But overall, try not to actually use any fire on a Christmas tree because that can easily burn. Also, this is Windows 98, second edition, just note. Right, I think I'm done with that. So I did add all of this already. So let me just check in here. Oh, so the run DLL32.exe is missing because it actually went and it actually broke stuff overall when it tried to apply the SSD thing. So this is most likely going to break everything else in here. Can I actually just open the system file? No. Okay, that's kind of troubling because then I cannot actually even see the specification of this in this case. So let me just see what's going to happen if I try to just restart. Okay, that's already a bad sign. If we actually get the bad comments. Oh. And you saw the worst. Seeing my actual VMware setup. I actually hate. I really hate when it actually does something like that. It should have just stayed where it was and not shut it down completely. Oh dear god. Yeah, Sean, it's most likely that those start page ones are just going to just change the homepage. But yeah, that's nothing more special. Okay, let me see if we can actually find a way to maybe to salvage this at some point. Okay, apparently for whatever reason, I'm trying to just like to just reboot the virtual machine, and it won't actually reach the point of option to pick a safe mode. So I'm even stuck with that. So I'll just switch back to the original snapshot. So yeah, sorry about that. Going back to this. Yeah, it's still Windows 98 second edition. If that's what you actually wanted to know. Right, so if this already kind of failed. I'll see if there is still something else useful maybe. Okay, I'll try maybe go. Actually, I wanted to maybe go with some Vicodin ES document file, but then I actually remembered that Vicodin ES macro creator actually had something not safe for work, so I cannot actually do that at this point. So I'll try with Crazy Man Virtual in this case. It should be still a document file with Microsoft to see if there's still anything in here. No, it's protected with passwords, so I actually have to even risk that. I even cannot remember the any tool for password, so I have to actually risk that also. Let me just turn off the screen for a bit to see if something else is just going to pop up or not. Alright, I think it should be safe as long as it doesn't cause any more trouble. So in this case, when you enable it, you actually get a button called Mr. Spock's Virus Generator 1.0. I don't think I can actually even access anything inside of it though, because it requires password. And here comes the German again. So warning, this virus generator is only for testing antivirus software, and the rest of stuff I cannot actually even translate at this point, so I'll have to type it out. This Northern test of one antivirus software eingesetzt. Where then? So yeah, this virus generator might be only used to test antivirus software. Shell the Viren dürfen nicht in Umlauf gebracht oder auf irgendeine andere Art verbreitet werden. Let me see. So viruses created must not be circulated or spread in any other way. For Schaden, hold on a sec. I'm just trying to translate this on the way while I'm typing it. Schaden. So I think that's like for unfortunately. Generator. Oder nur von ihrem erstellte Viren entstehen, lehne ich jede Verantwortung ab. So it means like that they refrain from any responsibility for damage caused by the generator of this virus creator. Okay, so I assume that this is like I understand this and accept it. And then we go, or no. His PGP key, I assume. This is game, I assume. Okay, I didn't read all of your comments, so I'm trying to check this now. Yeah. So can modern CPUs run Windows 98 without any issues? As far as I remember, there was an issue with Ryzen CPU because it was missing some instructions. But I think that's kind of resolved at this point, so it can actually run Windows 98 even on Ryzen CPU, only on the case of in case of running a virtual machine at least. On running it on actual hardware, I think that there might be lots of problems with that overall. There are also some patches for Windows 98 to actually make it more compatible to actually fix some CPU issues, but actually for using like Windows 98 on actual modern PC is probably not going to be a good idea. You actually need either an emulator or virtualization software that can actually kind of support Windows 98 in this case. So why is Spark giving me a virus? No idea. So I've just picked this one because it said crazy man. So I do not think that this is actually giving me a virus. This is actually a tool to create a virus, I would say. For ChatGPT, Jacob, I would say that ChatGPT, as I said before, you can use ChatGPT or any kind of AI as only like an utility for assistance with something. It doesn't mean that they are actually provide proper solution. They'll just give like some guidance to that. You don't actually have. That doesn't mean that you actually have to rely on it completely, but you still have to use like some of your own common sense. Yeah, as Sean said, that you might be kind of right that the virus creators can pick the names of the characters they like, or maybe whichever they prefer, because they don't have any restriction on putting the names, the name of the stuff they work on, so they can even go. I actually cannot think of anything in this moment. My head is kind of already bursting with all the thinking of the failover. So in here, so what will go? So the goal document, nothing. New document, open the document, we'll cancel that first. Okay, so infection methods, so this should be the methods for the macros, which so like the comment, they actually have like for when you create a new document, when you open a document, when you close the document, and then in automatic ones, it should be, well, okay, I think there's a difference. So the document open and close, those should be called when you try to run the actual menu method. But for the auto ones, I think that's when you actually try to actually open the document automatically. Open the document like double clicking it in this case. So for the warning, for starting this, let's say, okay, so I assume that you should try maybe like disabling auto macros in some way. So because auto macros are run immediately when you try to open the document, you're most likely going to end up with immediately infecting the documents in this case. Then for the payloads, let's see. So this is for basically displaying simple message, maybe opening the link, and this is for the replacing the text, I think, and this might be for the destruction of the destruction of the document. So okay, let me check the comments again. Most notable is a variant of CMOS that does virus where if it detected a debugger program was running with the virus present, the text will change to copyright gray software. Okay, I actually didn't know about that, but that might be a good indication to actually to try it out maybe in the future, if I even try to manage to remember it though. Because I actually didn't find any of that online for like in any descriptions. I mean the virus descriptions in this case, but it should be a good idea to try that out maybe in the future. But for MS-DOS, I'll probably have to run it on PCM or 86 box, but still that's going to take a while until I actually switch to Linux, at least. Okay, let me check this. So yeah, just like a message box, opening a URL, then replace the text, and this should be, I would say, I assume it's like destroying the document, nothing more. And then there's the info about the virus itself. If I actually could know the German much better than I currently try to learn over Duolingo, I'll probably be able to understand this more properly, but at this point, just more typing. So let's see. Where's long Strategien? Closure strategies? Umbenennung aller Variablen im Virus. Renaming of all variables in virus code. So that's kind of like a stealth option, I would say. So that also means marken, that's jump marks. Jump marks are basically like those go-to names. So when you actually have like in the code to actually have like the name of the, you just like add some name of the function and maybe like something like that. I'll explain it in the code when I actually generate it. Sorry if I'm still kind of loose with this. I'm still kind of dizzy. The whole week in here was basically just lots of rain and lots of how to say, no, just lots of rain floods, and it was still kind of freezing. I was hoping that it will be kind of still much more warmer these days so I can actually clean up the damn place. But even that's not happening. Back to the translation. So new version for all text in Russia. What's the text? Retranslation of all text entries. Or new Ordnung der 22 Code Module innerhalb der einen Hauptprozedure. New arrangement of the 22 code modules being with the main procedure. Einfügen einer zufälliger Menge von Leerzeichen vor jeder Codezeile. Inserting a random set of spaces before each code line, I assume. Zufälliges Einfügen and one Zeilen Numbrochen. random additions of target breaks, and final one should be the random additions of comments in variables. Hold on a sec. Kommentar Zeilen mit Variablen Inhalt. So comments with variable content. Yeah, Sean, about about the CMOS that virus. I did actually demonstrate it in the AVG test virus demos, but I didn't actually try to run it in practice to actually see if it's actually going to launch the actual text like that to Grisoft in this case. Like there's like one CMOS that actually goes like your computer is going to need a psychiatrist, but and the second one we actually run the we actually got the Grisoft copyright node. But yeah, that's still from the demonstration from AVG5. Alright, let me see, let me add the text in here. So for the title, we'll just go with hello world, because I have one of questions in this case. Unless you actually want me to write something else so that Clipping can maybe say it, feel free to comment if you want. Okay, let me even test. Oh, don't tell me that this is just like not going to include the for the assistant in this case. That's I was kind of hoping that it would. Okay, so we can try to go with Mozilla. That should be still the old URL, and then replacing the text. So I think we actually tried to replace some document in here already. Let's see for this. Okay, let's go with and to the, because the just for the grammar, broken grammar overall. This should be like search whole words, I think. But I think, but that should be okay. No, I think this is probably like to activate on the specific day or month and month. But if I try to go with 31st of February, oh, it's actually not going to accept it. So either day, but we'll disable it. So let's see, actually any day in January. No, so yeah, that's actually kind of bound to do that at a specific time, but we'll keep it all enabled instead. We'll enable this true option then, and I think that's it. We'll go with new document. Oh. And put it on the desktop. Okay. And that's it. I think that's it for it. Let me just check the translation for this. I'm ready. Plus near end. Fascinating and so fascinating, and I agree. Okay, I will admit that I'm not watching Star Trek because it's at this point it's probably like very long long series, to the point where I cannot actually follow up. Okay, so that's done. I think we can close this and reopen this. We'll keep this disabled, but we should be able to access it. And okay, so we get the actual code in here. So this seems to be quite, how to say, kind of stealth in this case, with adding lots of garbage in here. But let me just see. Check for a moment. So yeah, this is actually quite. Yeah, this is quite obfuscated in this case. So it can get quite difficult to even run. Sorry, to run it. So if I try to enable it, it actually fails. Because of the syntax error in here. Because there's no condition in here. So let me just try to add a comment to this. And if, okay, so there's like supposed to be some kind of, I think that's the case. And I was trying to like use the editor and then I gave up on the condition. I think that's going to be sufficient enough to just leave it as it is. So just skip the condition case and it should be fine. If then and then if. Okay. Okay, so that actually works. So I get the hello world message that I've added. It opens the page, which in this case is kind of not correct. It should be about Mozilla, like this, which will get the blue screen of that color. So that's basically it in for this virus generator. To make sure that it actually can work, I would actually need to like set it up a bit more differently. Oh, and then it runs again. Hold on a sec. Oh, and the macros are not gone in here. Okay, let's go back in here and okay, let me just repeat this situation again. But in this case, let's see. For the Mastodon, Jacob, I did actually hear about it, but I'm not going to use it. I'm using like some other like activity pub service, which is like some kind of like microblog, but at this point, I'm still not using it that much, even though I should, but I'm basically not doing anything with it still. Well, hopefully I might do it maybe someday. Hold on a sec, which one in this case? Should be this fine. But yeah, for Mastodon, as far as I'm aware, it's basically Twitter-like, but I will kind of prefer that everyone actually has their own instance of some social service. The only thing that we need is just like some activity pub, how to say, protocol where we can actually just communicate with each other between between individual servers, so that you can always be in control with those. Because whenever you're on someone else's server, you're going to end up like violating something randomly and then you lose your account overall. Something like that, I would say. Okay, so in this case, when I try to generate this document, so how is this going to work? Just replace it, run it, and it fails. Oh, and it's even being in use, so that's even worse. Okay, so let me retry this again. Let's trash this thing and run the virus generator again. Once again, add this specify the month on every day, and that should be sufficient. Start with the new document on the desktop, save the file, and it fails again. Okay, I actually never knew that this is possible. It's even being used by another user for some reason. So yeah, for some reason now even the bias generator is broken, and for whatever reason it broke even further. Okay, let me. Yeah, I cannot even open the settings from here. Uh, Let me try to reset maybe. Does it actually restore? No. I need to actually reach the macros option somehow. So I need to go back in here. Let me see. Okay, yeah, that's for the macros, but still. It shouldn't be in tools. Right. So there's the macros. There's the Visual Basic Editor. So those are the two that we actually need. Oh, and I cannot actually even open it. So that's even worse. I need one more option, which should be the settings, the options. So that should be allowed at least. Ah, that's disabled. Sorry, I'm hearing some kind of noise. Oh, everything else is going wrong today. So I cannot even open this or do anything in here. Wait, if I... Okay, this is now clean document. And these are still disabled. Okay, what the hell is that noise? Ah. Oof. Oh, god damn it. So I wasn't able to actually to restore the toolbar. I cannot open the options or even open the macros in this case, even from here. So I'm kinda out of options. So it should be like in here. Like it should be play somewhere in here, but even if I try to touch it in here, it does nothing. So I do not have any other option to actually restore back in this case. Even if I go like with the tools, like another tools option, no, and it's nothing is working. Oh, and even the normal template is now gone. And again the wires running. More changes done. I cannot save them. Oh, just don't save then. Okay, so this caused even a much more mess than I was expecting. At least Outlook seems kind of safe, so nothing was sent around. So yeah, overall, lots of trouble with this. Oh, and I cannot actually even delete the damn thing. So let's kill this first. Okay, delete it again. And I have no idea how should I even restore the normal template in this case. It's still in Office. It should be like the normal. I mean, is this one still safe or? Oh wait, why is this even worse? But this didn't actually even react. Okay, so where's the actual normal in here? Yeah, wait. If I actually try to open that one, is it? Wait, yeah, I cannot actually go from here. Is it going to still launch it or where the hell is the for the macros again? Yeah, still nothing. So yeah, the word is broken in this case, so I cannot actually go in further with it for now, unless I try to reset it. Okay, I'll try something else. So in this case, this is UAMP, which should be related to Microsoft Access. I think that's supposed to be like MDB extension. So this seems to have like the module. Let me check. Just don't tell that can actually run it. So this Ultra's access microphone morphic Russia 1998. Extra lines and nothing more. So I assume just more scrambling, nothing much else in here. Okay, let me see if I can actually find maybe something related to access maybe. It's gonna take a while. I'm just trying to look for something else. So that we don't actually get stuck with Word all the time. Not much with that. Wait, there's like something called Redis. So let me check this. So this is like for RAR. Let me check this. So this should be like Trojan horse, but with RAR extension. I'm not sure if that's going to run. Yeah, it's most. So that's not it. Okay, wait, what's actually in here? Oh, it's self-extractable, or wait, this is actually self-extract script command. You bet preset up, right? So it's just like a red Trojan horse batch file, nothing special. So yeah, that's not an option. Another, how to say, leftover. Okay, let me go switch back maybe to some viruses maybe. That might be more interesting. Alright, we'll go with some Microsoft Access viruses at least now. If they will work at least. Alright, let's see. So tenor hold on a sec. Tenor, Umba, and voila. Okay, let me see, what's this? It should be still like MDB, I assume. Nope. So what's Umba in this case? Oh dear god, just let me type it in. So this one actually opened. Oh, it actually has the module. Is this actually even running the macro? Or probably infect me and here. And then there's the infection stuff in here. In the options that. Okay, let me check. Set options show hidden objects. One sec. So this leads where to exactly? Options dialog box. Yeah, so show hidden and system objects. And that's, oh yeah, that's it. No access to those. So basically, those should be like some basic tables, I guess, like the system ones, but still. So that should be hidden. Law special case about breaking code, Wi-Fi mask key, studied infection. transfer the database to probably the another Mac to the other one. I'm not sure if this is like backup or hold on a sec, let's see. Transfer the database action is what exactly? To import or export data between the current database and another database. So I assume that's probably just like a backup in some way. Oh dear God, this window is kind of already a mess. So in fact, loop while you host something else. And if weekday now is Wednesday, with some random chance, display a message 1, 2, 3, 4 to variables. Which is this? UCR. Okay, reach return. Comment goal. What's actually this? Okay, I have no idea what's Umbarabama. But as far as I'm checking on Wikipedia, the Umbarabama is like a song by Jorge Ben-Jor from his 1976 album Africa Brazil. You know, I'm not sure if that might be exactly it, but assume maybe. Let's see, then Yoga Ball. So yeah, the language seems to be Portuguese in this case, at least because I'm checking on Wikipedia that the song is in Portuguese, so I assume that these are the, like, maybe the lyrics, I assume. Pula cai, levanta, sobe, desce, chord, chuta, wait, chuta, yeah. But I have a feeling that this is more like an insult than actual string. Let me check, let me check for the translation. 1, 2, 3, 4, Burma home goal. Play ball, player, play ball, I want to play ball, player. Jump, fall up, get up, go up and down. Down. Run, kick, open space, vibrates and take things. Look, the whole city was empty. On this beautiful afternoon, you see a playball player, playboy Concona, Pavela, Pelana, football, to my football friends, Jackie, and now I only have to try to run this somehow. This is still auto-exec for some reason. But how do I actually run the macros in here? Module. So what actually requires in here to actually run a macro? Because it doesn't seem that I'm able to run it in here. Unless I actually have to add it like in here. Hold a second, what was the name of this? Run code maybe? No, wait. I mean, even though if I actually try to like add the one macro in here, how would I actually run it? Macro name argument. Okay, so this should be like an cheese. So is the argument supposed to be going here or? Okay, let me check. Let's go with auto exec. So this is supposed to run the actual macro from here. So how do I actually add the goddamn argument? In the menu, macro name argument sets in the name of a macro or macro group that is in the current database. Okay, so let's see. Ah, I think it's here. I cannot actually run a module, maybe. That runs another app. Run code. Oh, it actually can include it. But does it actually add it? Infect me and poorly. Okay, so if I run infect me, it doesn't have a feeling that it's even being added. Oh, god damn it. Okay, so infect me, okay. Save and let's see if it's going to run. So what's now stuck? Mission true. Why the hell this cannot be actually run? It's still like a macro in here. So why the heck is it not possible to run it in here? What's actually required to run? Yeah. Okay, I'm already broken here, so let's see. Private sub. Okay, that's completely wrong in here. Okay, I will have to try to run something else to see if we can actually simulate running this macro or not. At this point, I cannot do it with this. Okay, so there's wall in here. No modules, apparently. Let me check again. So I have everything visible. Wait, to run macro. Hold on a sec. Let's go back in here. Macro run macro. Oh no, that's macro one again. Never mind. Okay, so if I try to open it from here. Oh. We got something now in here, definitely. And this is kind of gone. So we have something running. I have no idea what it is, and I cannot see it. Oh, it's still hidden? Ah, it's here. Alright, let's see. So there's an action open form, which opens the wall of form. And that's still in here. If I try to design, I should be able to access it without actually running the macro. So there's a form here, so there's something in here. Let's see, what's this? Alright, so we might have some more details in here. Let's see what this is. I mean, that's actually detail, just like control. It has nothing like related to events. No data, nothing, but everything else seems to be blank at this point. So now the problem is in here. What's this actually doing? So that it can actually cause all of this overall. So it opens the form, and then suddenly it makes a change. Well, definitely it disables the hidden objects, which I can enable, but I have no idea how they actually go inside of this. Okay, let's see if I can actually external file or database. Let's see. How do I actually can save this? If I try to save it as text file, oh, I don't like that, and it's blank. What's my favorite game? I cannot think of anything more specific by now, but if I actually have to pick some game, well, let's say it's Borderlands 2. Not 3, 2, and the pre-sequel at least. I also prefer those because the game itself is quite nice to play and to enjoy with others, and basically to try out various weapons overall. So it's pretty much more casual shooting game than others. Like others, I mean like Call of Duty and how to say, yeah, just Call of Duty, like an example, which is something that I do not like. Borderlands is just much easier to play with, and maybe find someone else to play. Plus, it can be kind of fun still. It's kind of replayable, even to say. There might be like some other games. I did play Team Fortress 2 like a long time ago, but I didn't play it for a while already. So yeah, only Borderlands 2 at this point is something that I will actually remember to being like a favorite game. Nothing much more. So back to this. How should I solve this problem? So I still have this thing. The design thing actually has like the control in here. That has nothing specific to actually figure out what it's actually supposed to do. Because there's something called, one sec. There seems to be like some kind of code in here, but I have no idea how should I even access it. Oh, god damn it again. Can I even disable macros in here? Keyword advanced. Let's see for the module. What is the ports, tables, queries? Okay, we're really kind of stuck in here. I cannot find a way to actually disable, to actually block the execution of this. So what if I try to open the report? Okay, the report just has like the same control that I cannot access. So create a shortcut, rename. Wait a second. So this is for the form, so this might be different. On load, there might be something. Okay, I think we got it finally. So we managed to access the code finally. Do you also plan on doing a malware run like Enderman did? I'm not sure what you mean by malware run in this case, and I don't know who is that either way. So you might, if you can kind of explain it to me what's malware run generally in this case. Okay, let me just think for a moment what I'm looking at. Can I actually check out what's this? Oh no, this froze. Oh, okay, now it's okay. So let me check, what's this actually changing? So current the database properties allow bypass key. So this should specify whether or not the shift key is enabled for bypassing the startup properties and the auto exec macro. For example, when you can set the allow bypass key property to false to prevent a user from bypassing the startup properties and the auto exec macro. So basically, this should be something to memorize if you actually want to hold the shift key and then to skip the auto exec macro in this case. But that's still kind of requiring an override. So that's only done when debugging, and it doesn't take effect until the next time the app opens. So what's with the special keys? Special keys should specify whenever or not the special key sequences are disabled or enabled. So as an example, you can use allow special keys property to prevent a user from displaying the database window by pressing F11, entering break mode within a Visual Basic module by pressing Ctrl break, or displaying the debug window by pressing Ctrl G. So yeah, so those are just like similar safety measures. So you cannot actually explain it, Jacob. So I'll try to guess. So I assume that the malware run is basically just like getting a bunch of malware and just run it one by one, or until the system breaks, or I assume it feels something like that, but still. So what's the last one? Allow breaking the code so that the user cannot actually see if the runtime error occurs. Disable show hidden objects. That's what we actually had from here disabled. It should be this. To false. Then delete the autoexec macro. Send the keys. Let's see. So what's W1 in here? Okay, I have no idea what's this exactly. ILO tab. Then F6. Voila. Alt. Not sure if that's the actual character. Then F4, autoexec, and then enter. Oh, I think that's like maybe like just kind of quickly opening like probably the setter again, and then write down the text. Select the macro, send the keys again, get the file name. If it's blank, to go to finish, then infect the other file from 1 to 5. Infect others. If the date and month are the same, then display the message voila. We've gotten off so easy so many times, but I guess no one told you how to get a live with a critical message. And then the song by The Offspring, 1998. The wires by Roiner, 98. So let me just check this. The song by The Offspring. It's from the 1998. Okay, so basically what you basically mean is like the malware run is basically just browsing the web and clicking on ads until to download some to get whatever ads I actually have. Yeah, I would say that's kind of useless to say, because as far as I've seen and as far as I'm aware, you're basically just downloading a bunch of garbage software that's basically, how to say, shovelware maybe. So they're just like those usual, so they like the usual garbage for backup software, for cleanup software. What was it else? I cannot remember one more thing which is it. Basically just like for optimization and recovery stuff. The stuff that you have to pay for something expensive that you already have some good alternatives for. At this point, I don't think that's kind of useful. But as an alternative, I can go on a malware run with a Wayback Machine. Like I did kind of do that like that last time. I nearly downloaded lots of garbage already, so I can actually go something like that, just to like dig around the ads or actually browse some pages that have lots of ads or pop-ups, and that could be close to that, and it could be kind of a bit more unique, which already it is when I tried it the last time. Only the minor fear is the like the not safe for work stuff. That's only the main problem. I'm just checking for the song that's being mentioned, the song by The Offspring. But the only thing I can see in here is like the Rock Band from 1984. But I cannot actually find any like specific song that would actually. Wait, hold on a sec. Wait, so they have the Offspring album from 1989, even though this one is saying like 1998. So the only album they had in 1998 is like Americana, the Offspring album, and yeah, so yeah, they actually have like the one here. So let me just try to show it for a moment. If I can actually show it, just give me a moment. I'll try to switch. Hold on a sec, I need to switch to the window at least. And hopefully not screw it up. Okay, so basically, the Offspring album with the track number 8, which is Walla Walla in this case. So basically that's what it meant with the song name. Okay, maybe I'm not like interested that much in some other things like others, or specifically like for me, just like going with just like trying to click on the ads and then download something and then say like, oh, it's a virus, look how dangerous this is, and all that stuff. It kind of it feels like it makes me kind of sick overall. Like they make so much of the say they just like kind of overemphasize the panic all over for the malware stuff that's actually just like shovelware overall. Like in this case, I'm just trying like some actual malware in this case. You know, it doesn't work quite well, and I'm still kind of trying to run it in some ways. It doesn't mean that that this is still kind of like child tool. It's still kind of, how to say, it's still not a toy in this case. So this is technically malicious. I'm not trying to make to say like it's some kind of something scary as hell. You know, in some moments that it kind of can be. But considering when others try to like to say that when you try to browse the web and then click on the ad and then you say, oh, that's a virus that's going to destroy the system32 folder and destroy everything, then I'm like, what a fucking idiot you are. And at that point, it's basically just garbage. If it's something like more complex, you'll actually have to like to research a bit more and maybe something like that. But then in my case, I'm barely trying to even to figure out what these how to say databases or these samples of some viruses that are here. I'm still trying to figure out what they actually do, and they're still like the actual viruses at least. So that's kind of that can kind of count. Well, Jacob, maybe in at some point, if you actually really want, I could consider doing it, but it's going to be kind of not going to be not going to be quite great still, I would say. I would still need to find some. I will actually need to disable ad blocker, which is maybe the worst option that I actually don't want to do. So that's minor concern at least. Plus, the ads in here are basically mostly legitimate. So if I actually want some actual crazy ads, I would actually need to use some VPN in United States to actually get some insane ads. Just so you know that most of the ads are now terrifying, mostly terrifying on YouTube and TikTok and well all of the social platforms because of the because of those apps that are app ads, like shitty mobile game apps. If you ever have seen the subreddit for that, basically that's maybe now the most dangerous thing ever. Actually, not the most dangerous thing ever. Sorry, I meant most most terrifying thing ever from the look of it. Not because of the game or the actual download or anything like that. Just because of the footage of the ad. But yeah, sorry, I'm getting out of focus at this point. So yeah, as I've said, this is from the Walla Walla by the Offspring for the name of the virus in this case, and with the virus, change the property. So this should be like the startup name of the form that's going to be opened at first, and then create the window. So basically that quick timing for closing. Change the property. And okay. Let me change the date and month to the same day. So this should be the 6th. And I think that's all in here. There's nothing else. So that's the only event in here. So I'm trying to open this. Oh. So does it even actually work? Or maybe it's the counter that's kind of wrong. Let me just check for a moment. Go with 5 maybe. Okay, let me check again. So what's actually not trying to run? Wait, auto seconds is still in here. Oh, okay, it's no longer. Can go to design, form, event. Okay, let me check again. So if day and month are the same, so that's supposed to be, that's what it's supposed to be in here. So let me go for the 1st of month. In this case, let me reopen. Still the same. Okay, reopen. Let me check again. What's actually the problem? There's supposed to be this message box, and it's not being displayed. So I'll basically bypass that. Did it actually even run, or let me check. Let me check the code. Oh, wait, where's the... Ah, damn it. Oh, wait, it should be in going to design. Wait a second, where's now that section? that I had. Oh wait, that's in here. So even though I actually save this, it still didn't actually let me to run it. Yeah, I cannot even display the message box in here for whatever reason. So even that kind of fails. And then we still have this thing, which I have no idea how to run. Oh, wait a second, wait a second. Okay, if I try to add a form. Alright, so I have the form in here. It should be a form. And I should be able to actually do something with that. Save it. Oh wait, was it query or... No, that was not that. Okay, so in here, design. Build event. Let's go macro builder. Oh no, that's the macro in here. Code builder. Okay, so when the form loads, let's just put that in. We'll just copy this and paste. It should be most convenient, at least. Run macro infect me. No, god damn it. Can this be sufficient or... And now I have no idea if this even worked or not. Wait, so it doesn't seem that it actually worked. Okay, let me just then completely move this in here. So this should work. Okay, let me close this and... So even though I've opened this, I don't think I have everything running. Yeah, it should be Wednesday. Even though I don't think it's even going to run. Kind of something closed in here. God damn it. Okay, so what I was trying to check. The date. Wednesday. I mean, it is Wednesday, I think. So it's not working even in that case. Wait, what did I do? God damn it. Like, everything is so broken by now. Oh wait, this end function. What is this even needed or... 1 second, let me just put that over here. Let's keep it like that. That should be fine. Then let's just remove this and just let it like that. And nothing. Okay, I'm out of ideas in this case. So even Access is even worse to work with to actually figure out how should I even run things. So I spent like so much time with this already. Okay, let me just do one more at least. Just one more virus and I think we are going to be done for today. We'll go with cauliflower. Oh wait. I think yeah, I need to just copy it again. Oh god, why am I not able to copy it now? God, gee. Okay, so this should be just like spreadsheet wires. Oh. Yeah, I really need to actually make a proper cleanup and set up the virtual machines in a way where it can easily test stuff, because this is still kind of inconvenient. There are lots of sheets in here. They're not needed though, so only the module. Wait a second. So this is all blank. Oh wait a second. There's a lot. I think there's like the situation with the text being in white color, most likely. So if I try to maybe select all, copy, we'll just open Notepad and paste it from there. Yeah. So basically it's that one trick with hiding the code in here. So this seems to be like module deadline 1st of January 1999. Infected stuff in here. Then if the date value is set to deadline, then you get the message for it depressed, yes, no, the restoration. If yes, depression hurts, Prozac can help. I think that's like anti-depression medicine, and that's it. So if I try to run it, you should just get that message. Depressed, yeah, and then depression hurts. Are you depressed? Yes. Enable again? No. Are you depressed again? No. So that's one of the more simple ones, apparently. Okay, let me just see if I can just maybe run something random for the end. Okay, I'm just trying. Oh, wait. Let me just see what's this. Actually, I have fear already opening this. Can actually try to run resource hacker maybe over this to see if there's something inside. Oh, so it's a different layout in this case. So it's compressed, and so I have to hope that there's something insane in here either. All right, let's see. Just something not safe, not safe for work. And nothing happened for now. This only like some system message in here, but let me see if I can actually run something. Wait, is it still running? It's having a quick view. Wait, no, that's not it. Let me just oh dear god. Is there anything running out? Okay, it's still running, so let me just kill this quickly. Just for the sake of it. Okay, we'll run file monitor at least. Registry monitor. And yeah, I think that's enough. Okay, apparently it did manage to edit itself on the startup. And I think that's all. Is this even legitimate? I'm not sure. Right, let me check over here. So I should try to just filter out a few things, so that it doesn't spam the hell out of the logging in here. Just a note, I'm not that experienced with this. I'm just trying to figure out if there's some kind of behavior going in here, or it's nothing going to happen. Okay, let me try to run this now. Okay, let me see what's actually going in here. Well, it's doing a lot of things. It's probably just trying to communicate with the server. Some server maybe. Not sure exactly which one. But yeah, it's checking like the settings in here. So basically just probably for connection stuff. And maybe probably sending the stuff somewhere else. But this is just an assumption. I cannot actually confirm that that's actually what it's doing. Oh. Again. So read the stuff, read. So this is probably like some sort of a stealer, I would say. Wait a second. It's dropping the DMM386 thing. Oh, so it's basically dropped in here. And there's this copy, which is basically the same copy of the virus of the malware of the Trojan horse in here. And I think that's all. So it doesn't seem to do any other kind of behavior. And considering that it's like compressed with something, even opening it in here won't actually help. I would actually need to like get some tool to actually even figure out how to actually decompress stuff like that. But yeah, as I'm not the malware expert in this case, like I'm not the expert, nothing much can be done. So what is the most useless Windows built-in utility? Let me check. So Jacob, let me see what might be the option here. So well, as far as I remember, like there's this accessibility wizard, which I would say it's maybe the most useless as far as I'm aware, because it's doing like some basic stuff for changing that you could actually do on your own. Even though like, okay, I get it, like the accessibility is kind of still important for disabled people, but this kind of felt like least useful when you can actually do it from here already with all options on. So yeah, that's maybe the one reason, at least. Now, is there any other thing that might be kind of useless? At least from my memory, from what I actually remember. I didn't use any of these, but I cannot say that they're useless. Maybe the useless thing could be the deluxe CD player, because this is basically not used at all when you actually have Windows Media Player. I think that's from the Plus package though, but I'm not sure. So yeah, that cannot count as a actual useless utility either. Sound recorder is maybe the most fun utility back then. Volume control, yeah, that's still required. For internet tools, yeah, nothing here specific. Okay, maybe in system tools. So clipboard viewer still useful. Character map is useful if you need to type something. Backup still useful. Compression agent, yeah, cleanup, defragmenter, converter. Yeah, maybe, I think maybe, in this case, maybe the most useless tool could be the maintenance wizard. Oh wait, I think is that also the part of Plus? Yeah, it might. If it's part of the Plus, maybe it might not count again, because it's just like used for scheduling again, so nothing useful with that. The remote control help utilities are useless because they will never work. Oh, so you mean basically something modern in this case? Because I know about TeamViewer being like the most popular thing ever for remote control back then. Now it's kinda discouraged because of the licensing usage. So by now I'm okay with Google's Chrome remote desktop, which is maybe the most simple remote control utility, but it still requires like the registration and all that stuff though. There is also like the Microsoft's like alternative, which is maybe like even remote desktop or their own utility sorter for that, but I did not try it out on my own. Okay, I think we are done with this. Can I actually kill it from here? No. I should have killed it from there, but let me just kill it quickly so it doesn't annoy. Alright, I think I'm done with this for now. So let me just switch back to the screensaver and I'll probably just give some minor discussion and a few more notes maybe. Okay, so this is kind of still kind of messy as Jacob has said that it's kind of causing a lot of trouble. Wait, so that's still not sufficient. Wait, so what's actually being so what was actually making it a bit more optimal? No, so that's still kind of making it this maybe. Not this, and then high depth and low density. So that's kind of like making it density. Let's see. If I try to lower the field of view, okay, that's even worse. Okay, that's even much more worse. Okay, let me just pick something else then. Okay, I'll stick with this screensaver for now. So hopefully that's not as dizzy as the previous one, Jacob. Oh. Wait, which screensaver? Did you mean the latest one or the field lines? Because I'm not aware of the delay between the stream at this point. Okay, hold on a second. Maybe I can make it a bit less. Okay, make it much more thinner and very, very slow. Hold on a sec. Okay, I assume that this should be sufficient enough. It doesn't move a lot, and it should be like very, very thin. So I assume that's enough at least. So yeah, at least by now I'll be done with malware testing. So basically, I've tried to go initially with some like virus utility software. You mean like the field lines or? Okay, sorry, Jacob, but I'm not sure which one is it. Okay, I'll pick maybe something more blank then. Okay, we'll go with travel until I actually get it. Okay, that should be sufficient enough. Hopefully this one isn't as terrifying as the other ones. But yeah, overall, so I've tried to run some... oh, sorry. Okay, either way, couple this one should be fine. But yeah, overall, as far as I've tried to run some like virtual, which is I assume like virus creation utility, most of those kind of fail for me, and well, some of them like kind of still not that practical to use. Even though I try to like to use that WMF maker, which will be like an exploit for the Windows metadata file, which is like a vector image. But for that I actually need to get a Windows XP without the exploit security patch. Okay, so just note, Jacob, I think the delay on the stream is maybe about 30 seconds, so I probably get stuck with this. Okay, now, so as far as I tried those virtuals, so that kind of went wrong. So I've tried to go with some Microsoft Access viruses, Mac viruses again. It's like it's getting like to the point where the Mac viruses are going extremely boring because of the same pattern. But at that point, I can only kind of reverse engineer under the quotes. But the reverse engineer is basically just opening the code for the Visual Basic script that it has in, and then also trying to like do some other document stuff, and yeah, that's basically it. Just some virus generator. Yeah, the one with the spark on. That's maybe the one that had the most usability overall, and everything else was kind of like a failure overall. So in this case, if I actually try to switch to Linux properly, and if I actually manage to set up everything else, I might be able to actually do your option for the malware run, Jacob. But that still depends on the case where I actually have to set up the whole environment for that. If I actually try to run this on my current machine, I'll probably get screwed up in some way. If I actually want to go with malware run like that, it needs to be more unique. Like just like browsing the web and then go like typing in like cool toolbar and all that. Even though today you basically have no toolbars available for the browsers at all. So that's kind of the problem. So I'll see if I can kind of find a way to improvise that, if there's any possible way. But you'll probably have to remind me about that in other streams, because I can still forget it. It's very easy for me to forget things these days. But yeah. Okay, if you want still anything else to say, feel free to do so. In the meantime, enjoy the screensaver. So yeah, give me about 30 seconds, and yeah, feel free to say something else. And what I'm supposed to be careful about, Jacob? because it's saying like, but before you do that, be careful under the caps lock. I mean, with the caps. Oh dear God. I have a feeling that I'm like losing my mind over every single stream, and I even cannot actually do anything properly. It's getting insane for me overall. Like streaming every single time and wondering if I'm actually going to make something useful or anything or something interesting, to the point where I just basically do the same thing over and over. Oh yeah, the porn. That's the thing that I actually mentioned before. Yeah. So that's the problem again. Well, in that case, I need to probably do some sort of a workaround. I did actually consider trying to like add some kind of like streaming delay in OBS, but when I did that, it caused a lot of lag. Like the stream was stuttering at that point, so I cannot do that. Another option will be, well, I actually have an idea. I'll probably have to like add maybe some add-on to actually prevent the not safe for work stuff and hope that it will work, but it's gonna be complex. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I might be against that. And doing that on live stream, it's kind of suicidal. Maybe if I could do it like on some private stream, maybe, which is kind of still possible because I'm kind of streaming this on Twitch and YouTube, and if I could actually go streaming on one more place, you might be actually able to watch it over there instead of like watching it in here. But then it kind of feels like that you're actually missing out on something. But yeah, I think that's all for now. If that's unless that's all, okay, as far as I'm aware, that seems to be all. If you want to say anything, feel free to do so in this 1 minute. Otherwise, enjoy the screensaver. So at this point, if you don't ask anything else, that's it, and bye. Okay, so as you said that you have like the Twitch account, Jacob, I think I can actually say that you're now watching it on the Twitch, but I would say that you should stick on YouTube at least, because the live chat is mostly saved on the YouTube for now, because I cannot actually save anything on Twitch at all, even though I don't have anyone actually even watching on Twitch either way. So that's basically like, if someone stumbles upon it, feel free to do so. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and so yeah, that's it, and bye again.